Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Mythgard in Middle-earth. My name is Corey Olsen, the Tolkien Professor, joined as always by my friend Gryfflet, who is posing for a selfie next to Aragorn, it seems, which is totally understandable. But Gryfflet, you're not fooling anybody. You're standing uphill from him. You're not even that tall, actually. But I understand. Aragorn's pretty tall. Oh, hey, Gryfflet, you forgot to get your presents. What do we get today? Let's see. We get, Scroll of Max Morale, which I never remember to use, and Figments of Splendor, which I don't even understand. So that's good. Excellent. All right. I know the Figments of Splendor will be useful someday. All right. Hey, everybody. So good to be back. Gryfflet rides again after a very long time. It's been like a month since I've been here for a Gryfflet stream. So delighted to get back, trying to remember what on earth is going on. Remember, we're nearing the end of the Henneth Annûn quests, as I recall. I think my goal or vision was to see if we could maybe finish North Ithilien today, or at least get up to the camp. Finish the Henneth Annûn quests today. We'll see. So where are we going? We got the assisting the herbalists one. Yes, right. Okay. Yeah, that's the combined one. No worries. We'll take care of that. Patrol the abandoned refuge of Thurindath. Really? Oh, that's down there. Okay. So that one's a bit out of the way. Spooking the searchers, right? Recalling that. And then deliver the brooch, right? Right, these two are finished. Wait, no. Oh, yeah, lookout point. Right, okay. All right, so let's finish up these three. And, yeah, we'll finish up those three in this area, and then we'll hand them in, and we'll see how we do. All right. Ride my blue roan pony. Of course. Yeah, still looking sharp on the blue roan pony. Love it. Love it. Okay. So, hey, folks, so let's talk about something. Actually, let's talk about current events. Want to talk about current events? So, the hunt for Gollum, except big budget this time, right? That, of course, was the big news yesterday. It's one day after Warner Brothers announced the new Gollum film, which, like, I don't know, like, which meme is bigger, right? That they're, that they're stealing fan film, of course, the fan film of the same name, or that they're, doing a film version of the wildly popular Gollum game. But in any case, as always, when a new adaptation comes around, I am keen to keep an open mind and see what happens. I think it could be very interesting. I have to say, though, I'm not excited about it. Yeah, Phil, the copyright claim thing. So, by the way, the copyright claim thing has been resolved. News. I was part of a Tolkien person discussion group that's been talking about that quite a bit. The WB did put a copyright claim in on that, and the fan film was taken down, but it's been reinstated this morning, is my understanding. Anyway, so I'm keeping an open mind. I will be interested to see what they do with it. I'll be delighted to talk about it one way or the other. But I have to admit, the news did not fill me with excitement. It didn't fill me with, and there are a couple reasons why it didn't fill me with excitement. One, so I've noticed that there are many people who are who were huge fans of the Peter Jackson films and who retain a massive nostalgia for everything about the Peter Jackson films. Including, of course, the entire original cast. And I've been hearing people say things like, oh yeah, like, I really hope they get some more films in that are, like, relevant to some of the characters. So, they can still get the original cast involved. It's like before it's too late. We've already lost Christopher Lee, and of course we just recently lost Bernard Hill. So, so I've heard people talking like that. And it's like, okay, so like the Hunt for Gollum, that's going to be, I just blew past it entirely. Yeah, here I am talking and not even paying attention to my quest arrows. And of course, like Gandalf, obviously, should be very involved in the Hunt for Gollum story, depending on what they do with the Hunt for Gollum story. But anyway, so yeah, that's there's. Oh, is this little fissure in the rock the opening in question? Oh, yes, it is. Okay, so what am I doing here? I'm patrolling the abandoned refuge. Oh, right, I was patrolling other refuges. I remember that. Spiders have overrun it. Oh, dear. Oh, hang on. What are we doing? You have discovered the Ranger refuge of Thurindath, overrun with large spiders and thick, sticky webbing. It at least is very plausible to have giant spiders in this particular region. It is unclear how long the spiders have held the refuge since the Rangers of Ithilien abandoned it, but they must be driven off if the Rangers are to retake this key foothold in North Ithilien. Defeat the spiders, destroy their webs. Okay, no problem. Start with you. Anyway, okay. So as I say, Gandalf is obviously going to be heavily involved. So it's, again, there are a lot of people who are like, oh yeah, so like, Ian McKellen, like, quick before it's too late. And I have to admit, I don't think that way. I don't think that way because I would very much rather see new people cast. Like, let's do some new things. Let's see some new things happen. I don't have the same sort of level of nostalgia of the for the original films, and to be I don't know. I mean, to be perfectly blunt, I think that. Like even in the Hobbit films, Ian McKellen and Christopher Lee were harder to watch because Ian McKellen's like 85 now, and people are like, well, Gandalf's old. Well, yeah, but like, I don't know. I mean, it's hard. I just I'm not. As I say, I'm just not invested there, and I think it would be so. So that's one sort of. Division of the ways that I have found between myself and some others who have responded to this new film announcement. Can I one-shot this guy? Almost. Not quite. Anyway, so like it goes a little further than that. I'm a little bit trepidatious of the very fact that this is like, oh look, it's Andy Serkis doing a Gollum movie, right? And as I've always said, the most important duty of an adaptation is to tell a great story, and it may well be. I'm not going to rule it out. I'm not going to make assumptions. It may well be that... Oh, whoops. Hi there, big guy. It may well be that they're telling the Hunt for Gollum story because they were like, oh, we find this story enormously compelling and we can make this into, like, we have a vision for how this story is going to make a phenomenal film, right? Like we have this vision for the story that we want to tell, and the Hunt for Gollum, like this is exactly the story that we want to tell, and it's going to be awesome, right? And the fact that we're getting Andy Serkis more Gollum time is just like icing on the cake, right? It's entirely possible that that's what they're thinking, but I'm not confident. Not confident that that is the case. Mostly because, in part, frankly, I don't find The Hunt for Gollum a very compelling story. I mean, like, it's fine. Like, it's an interesting element of, like, Third Age lore. And I'm certainly not saying that no good story can be made of it. But what I would say is that of all the Third Age stories, assuming, right, that, like, Third Age is where they're, you know, focused, which is fine. You know, of all the Third Age stories that are available to them, I don't... that just does not seem to me even in the top 10 of most interesting or compelling stories. So, you know, I don't know. Like I said, maybe it's fine. Maybe it'll be great. I think that's entirely possible. My concern, what I would not like to see is to see them kind of going through the motions just because they're like, hey, everybody loves Andy Serkis's Gollum, so let's do a feature film of Andy Serkis's Gollum, right? Just for the sake of doing a feature film of Andy Serkis's Gollum. That would be sad, I think. Yeah. Yeah, Druid's Fire says, The Hunt for Gollum in the text is like a page worth of commentary. It feels like turning Battleship into a movie, not really all that interested. Yeah. Like I said, there are interesting things they can do. It's not that it can't be made into an interesting story, but of course there's another point which a lot of people are underestimating or not thinking about, really. Though the person who was thinking about this immediately was James Tauber. I was talking with him about it, and he was saying, well, one of the biggest problems here, or, you know, one of the biggest sort of framework challenges, is that what they said in the Lord of the Rings films has already significantly changed the Hunt for Gollum story. They already altered that very significantly in the films. It is anyway. So, what are they going to do? Where do they start? Right? Because they're not just starting from what Tolkien wrote in The Lord of the Rings and what he expanded in the Unfinished Tales, which they can't officially adapt, but which they can unofficially adapt, as people always do. Anyway, like, they're not just starting from that text. They're starting from I assume they're starting with consistency from the films. I assume they're not going to tell a story that's inconsistent with the story, like radically inconsistent. That just relies on a wholly different history, independent of the Lord of the Rings films. So, yeah. And Drowned this is one of the things that I find that I don't love. Drowned Snake says it'd be a shame if the adaptation decisions of Jackson and crew defined all future Tolkien film adaptations. Yeah, there's a lot of things to like about the Peter Jackson film adaptations, but there are lots of other alternatives and other decisions that could have been made, and it would be interesting to see those. The other thing, and this to me is a post-Hobbit film thing, and I understand, like, I'm not just going to bash Peter Jackson for the Hobbit films. There were a lot of, circumstances involved and whatever. I get it. I'm not going to be unkind, or I'm going to try not to be unkind to Peter Jackson and, what led to the Hobbit films. At the same time, however, when I look at the big picture, that is the big picture of Peter Jackson's film career. The Lord of the Rings films were awesome, right? But I can't myself look at Peter Jackson's larger directorial career. What am I looking for? I'm spooking people. Okay. I can't look at Peter Jackson's entire directorial career and really be on the anything by Peter Jackson is like I insist, Peter Jackson or bust. Like it must be Peter Jackson because the Lord of the Rings films were very good, but do you see what I mean? Like, again, I don't want to be unkind, but it's not like his career has established him as one of the greatest directors, in film. Anyway, so I'm just saying. Yeah. It is very possible. So Phil, conceivably, Phil says it's possible that after the storm of protest about studio interference with the Hobbit films, that Peter Jackson and crew have managed to get more freedom this time, along with more prep time. Very possibly. Very possibly. That and maybe that will be good. Also, that's a little bit my point, though, in that it's not obvious to me that, maybe it will be. Maybe it will be. Awesome. Oops, I didn't shout at him. I just shouted near him. That's not enough. Maybe it will be that their team entirely freed from, left free to do what they want to do, will produce an awesome product. That is very possible. I just don't have confidence in that. I'm certainly not assuming it, and I don't have confidence in that. I'm open to seeing it. I hope I do see it, but I'm not confident in it. And do you know the thing that makes me say that more than anything else? It's my experience as a reader, right? There are a lot of authors. Like, the fact that you produce a work of genius does not mean that you are an excellent and reliable author, right? Case in point. Ever read anything else Bram Stoker wrote? Oh boy, not good. Not good at all, in fact. Quite bad. Bram Stoker is not a great writer. Certainly not a reliable writer, right? I think many of you know my feelings about Dracula, right? Yeah, the hooray for the wear of the white worm. Exactly. That Bram Stoker's second most famous novel, and boy, holy cow. Anyway, yeah, again, I think, as I say, I think that many here know how much I love and respect Dracula. It's one of the greatest novels ever. Like, it's just brilliant and one of my favorite books of all time. But that doesn't make Bram Stoker an excellent and reliable author who is like, anything he wrote, I know it's going to be awesome. Like, that is not the case at all. And so the Hobbit films and some of the other things like King Kong and stuff like that have all led me to wonder, looking at Peter Jackson's overall corpus, leads me to wonder, is he another such example? There are many such in the history of art. People who have produced a great work, a truly great work, through some concatenation of circumstance and inspiration. And, I can't pretend to know and understand everything about how all that stuff works. Right. But, nobody really understands all about how that stuff works. But anyway, there's a difference between those who do catch lightning in a bottle and create a work of complete genius, and those who are, in fact, great and reliable craftsmen who can be counted on to produce brilliant work almost every time they set their hand to something. And I hear people talk about Peter Jackson as if he's that. But one brilliant, set of films doesn't make that. Yeah. Anyway, I have not seen, no, so, and I want to be careful. Like, I'm not trying to bash Peter Jackson, because Carissa, I have not seen They Shall Not Grow Old. I have not seen everything Peter Jackson has done. So I'm not like trying to like offer a full referendum on his career, and I'm certainly not trying to declare him a failure. I'm just saying that I don't feel the same way that so many people, that many Tolkien fans seem to, or many film fans anyway, seem to, that like, the like excitement and relief at hearing the news that Peter Jackson and his people are, oh yeah, I was in the right little valley. I just don't usually come up that way. That Peter Jackson and his people are doing another feature film. Like, that itself does not lead me to think like, oh yeah, so this is obviously like gonna be awesome. We've had one awesome set of films. We've had one horrible set of films. So as far as Peter Jackson's Tolkien work is considered, he's batting 500, which is a great batting average, though in a small sample size. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah. JJ says Peter Jackson is no Feanor. Well, okay. So Feanor has his faults, but as an artist, yeah, sure. Could you count on the fact that everything Feanor made was going to be a work of genius? Oh yeah. No, you totally could. Like, unfortunately, you could also rely on the fact that he was going to be a horrible person generally, and make really bad decisions. But from an artistic standpoint, 100%. 100%. I mean, you could say maybe we just don't hear about Feanor's duds, right? Like, possibly.
I will choose rangers in our band that are up to this task.
I have heard that a force of orcs and easterlings seeks to waylay King Elessar's army as he proceeds northward through the pass of Cirith Niggin. These monsters and their foul allies are monstrous fools if they think to use our own tricks against us. This is the land of the moon, and many are the moons that have risen and set upon my life. Still I am here, Faramir's most loyal friend, and I will aid him until I breathe my very last. Younger men you will find, quicker perhaps, but none will know this land as I do. It is neither my lot nor my desire to lead in anything but this. I will lead our men into the woods and against our foes and back again. I will choose rangers of our band that are up to the task.
Okay. All right, that was quite a speech. And you're right, Edith. 500 batting average is good in baseball, but a 50% average is not so good. Is not a passing grade. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, again, it's only two. Things happen, but I always get turned around. This junction, man, like when you come down that hill, either way, when you come down from here, it's like the other road doesn't exist. And the same is true when you come up this way. This is like the most blind corner. And I almost fell for it again. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. So like I said, this is not me bashing Peter Jackson. I just don't... I certainly don't share the feelings of many. Like, there's been a lot of gush. Whenever there's a Peter Jackson related announcement, there's a lot of gush. Of like, oh, isn't this wonderful? Isn't this amazing? And I'm like, well, it might be wonderful. It could be amazing. But just show me first, and I have doubts. Maybe they have a brilliant idea. Maybe they have a lovely story that they want to tell, and The Hunt for Gollum is the perfect, that story really inspires them in some way, and they have something really important to to tell in the history of Tolkien adaptation. Maybe. It's very possible.
I will find others of my people who wish to help.
That they're not just, again, getting Andy Serkis in a Gollum suit again, or Andy Serkis getting himself in a Gollum suit again, since he's directing and starring in the film. Another thing which makes me a little uneasy, it can work, but
makes me uneasy. Makes me a little bit uneasy, that's all. That's all. Okay. I am no stranger to errands of secrecy, Gryfflet, and I know that neither are you. There was once a time when I would say that we could have handled this ambush by ourselves, but there is wisdom in being prepared. I will find others of my people who wish to help, and we will have greater chance of success if they are beside us on secret feet. Battle on the open plain is very different from forest fighting. I will not say it will be a relief to engage in the latter once again, but every man of the company has seen enough of the former by now to last him to the end of his days. Ah, yes. Let's do some forest fighting. Hey! Look, it's Legolas. Hey there, Legolas. What's up? You know, you wear your quiver really high on your hip. Like, I would think it might make the arrows challenging to draw, but I mean, I'm not myself an archer. Maybe that's actually really insightful. I don't know.
I hope you are planning to ask me to join on this endeavor.
I do not wish to be left out of such an adventure. Perhaps Aragorn asked for me by name, and you thought he asked for Dagorlad instead. Legolas laughs, a musical sound. I will gladly accompany you to ambush the ambushers, my friend. Tell me when you are ready, and we can leave. Oh, look who's inviting himself. It's all good. Let's hang on, Legolas. I'm going to turn in my other quests, and then we'll do that. Hrodrog.
Will you help bear my burden, friend?
If we are so fortunate, those orcs in Khundolar shall return to their masters with news of terrible, unseen things lurking in Ithilien. Regardless of our true strength, our company shall appear to be innumerable and ever-watching. You have done well, my friend. Oh, this is the, spooking, the yelling at folks quest. Okay. All right, which quest does Mablung have? Oh, a couple. Shadows of Ithilien. What have you to report? You inform Mablung of the massive size of the spiders in Thurindath, the relatively untouched state of Adabdolan, and your suspicion that orcs have claimed Torngroth. I see. I shall send my rangers to Adabdolan at once. If we can reclaim one of our northern refuges, it shall aid us greatly in keeping the enemy from crossing into Ithilien from Dagorlad. However, to have spiders and orcs lurking within our lost refuges is another matter. The loss of Torngroth was a tremendous blow to our company, and I would see it return to us. We do not have the time to reclaim them now, but I shall have my scouts keep a careful watch on both Torngroth and Thurindath. Okay, and didn't I find a brooch? While I'm glad you have driven them, that is the spiders, from Thurindath, I wonder what their presence in Ithilien could portend. Long have rumors passed among my men of a great spider living in the heights of Efelduath, but the tale is so old and so unthinkable. I know, right? You have traveled to the forests of Mirkwood, have you not? Could such a creature lurk just beyond our sight? Reasonable chance. Gryfflet, the time has come to begin our efforts to reclaim Torngroth. All through your initial scouting and a bit of our own, we have discovered that a company of orcs have seized the refuge and laid claim to many of the supplies that were left behind when we were forced to abandon it. We cannot let this stand. Even if the orcs were to return after we rout them, those supplies are of great import to our efforts in Ithilien and the Wastes. Travel to Torngroth and defeat all the orcs you encounter. Once their forces are broken, claim as many supplies as you can and return to me. Go swiftly, but be careful. Okay. I was kind of expecting that one. And Born, what say you? Gryfflet, I have received a troubling report from my ranger Tordoron. He sent word that the Khundolar have laid traps along the roadway through Cirith Negin. Mere traps could not stop the host of the West, but I fear that they may soon devise a greater scheme to hinder our allies. The pass provides swift passage to the north, but it is narrow, and any that pass through it must fear an ambush. I would ask that you scout Cirith Negin and destroy any traps you find. If the Khundolar are still trapping the pass, you must defeat them as well. Nothing can be left to chance, my friend, especially now that the enemy has suffered his greatest defeat in recent memory. When that is done, seek Tordoron and aid him as you may. He has scouted the pass of Cirith Negin and now searches the northern reaches of Ithilien for the enemy's encampment. Oh no, you're not only sending me on another quest, you're sending me on a quest to another quest giver. Yikes. Hi, Legolas. Ah, the brooch.
We will purge these lands yet.
I know this brooch, my friend. It belonged to my brother, and at last his fate is clear to me. Although the Rangers held that refuge for many years, the enemy discovered the location of Torngroth, and we were forced to battle our way out. In our flight, we became separated, and he never made it to Henneth Annûn. I have mourned him ever since, but now I wonder, what drew him back to Torngroth? Ah, well, that is a matter for another time. I shall keep his brooch close, Gryfflet. You have my thanks. All right. Have you a moment? Oh, I am at your disposal, Legolas. The heavy palls of the Black Land have laid above Ithilien for far longer than the rest of Gondor, and the ashy, sour air that rises over the Duath all too often sweeps into our lands. Worse still are the foul rains that cascade down those black slopes, for they bring with them a blight. He's not asking me to solve the weather, is he? This blight has spread into our waters in the past, aided by raiding parties of Orcish defilers. Now more than ever it is necessary that the stream of Henneth Annûn remain free of Mordor's poisons, right. This is our only refuge from the onslaught of Mordor's forces, and without fresh water, our company is doomed to failure. Here, take these water skins. Fill them in the forbidden pool. Are you serious right now? In the stream as it passes through the field of Cormallen to the west, as well as within the stream's source along the Duath to the east. I have no reason to believe the water is blighted, but I must be certain. Oh, this is a testing. I see, we're testing the water. Okay. I thought I was gonna like cleanse the water, or like I was confused about what the purpose of the quest was. Okay. All right. So what do we got? We've got the Forbidden Waters quest. Right. I'm supposed to break the law. That's the job. The Traps quest, which seems odd in conjunction with this instance, but whatever. The Torngroth cleansing. And just what came of my hang on a second. What came of my herbalist quest? Didn't I do some of these? I remember collecting herbs, but it says 04, and I don't see any completed ones. Huh. Retaking Torngroth is under the herbalism? Oh, that's like, must be the dailies, right? Oh, so I have to turn them in that day for it to count? Seriously? But I don't even have any of the quests. North Ithilien. No. I had the quest and finished it. So oh. Alright. Forget it. If that's how you're going to play... I was willing to do them all once, you know? Like I do most of the daily quests. Just to do them once and hand them in. Seemed no harm. But if they're not even going to, like, keep score of the ones that I've already done, forget about it.
Let us
Okay.
make our plans and then depart for Cirith Ungol.
Okay, let's do it.
Orcs and Easterlings have set a trap for the host of the West, but now we seek to foil the ambush before it can be sprung.
That's right. Let's foil the ambush. So Edith, I thought I could just do them once too, but again, do you see what I mean though? Like I totally did a couple of those quests. I remember collecting the herbs around the you know, that pool where the frogs were. Right? I was absolutely collecting them. I collected an amount of them, and then yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Don't know. Okay. All right, Gimli. We have come the long way round Cirith Ungol, Gryfflet, and we are now in position to surprise the Orcs and Easterlings before they can attack Aragorn's host. We will descend upon them in full-throated fury and send them screaming back to their own lands or to death. Okay. Sounds like a stealthy maneuver. No, Gimli. We must maintain our secrecy and remain quiet as we approach. What? But Gandalf said he wanted us to make noise.
Well, he's got a point, Legolas.
You cannot expect me to charge into battle without a battle cry, Legolas. The orcs will have a picket north of the pass. You and Gryfflet need to defeat them silently. Maybe you could whisper your battle cries, Gimli. Whisper. Harumph.
Okay. Oh, we're walking, are we?
All right, let us find these enemy pickets quietly.
All right, no, we're not walking. Okay. Oh,
Orcs are close.
all right, I'm going stealthy. I don't know about you.
Kazad Amenu.
The whispered battle cry is fun. Oh, no, I don't want that one. I already did it.
Another scout.
Baruch Kazad.
That's good. We're unnoticed so far. Okay. Okay, there are foes nearby. Okay, okay.
Kazad. Kazad.
The Rangers are in position, Gryfflet, and so too are the elves.
The elves? All three of them? How many elves do you have?
Now we just need someone to give the signal to attack. Why don't you walk down the road behind Cirith Negin and let our enemies know they have been outmaneuvered? The time for stealth is over, now that we are ready to launch the attack. Your attack will be the signal for the rest of us.
Okay, Gimli, can you handle this?
Let's go.
Where are you going? Into the bushes. Oh, no. Around the bushes. I'm still gonna be...
Kazad.
I'm still gonna be stealthy if that's okay. That's it. Victory! Let that be a warning to the foes of King Elessar. The threat is past. It's Dagorlad, okay.
We have victory. The enemy has been dispersed and will no longer pose a threat to the host of the West. Thank you for your heroism, Gryfflet. I must thank your friend Gimli as well, both for the swing of his axe and the stillness of his tongue during our approach. I know that dwarves enjoy to bellow, and keeping his quiet must not have been easy. We have all done a service for Aragorn this day. I am glad to have made the road safe for the host.
Yeah, I'm declining it multiple times. Okay. We'll just return to Aragorn. Use your indoor battle cry. Exactly, JJ.
We dispersed our foes, but do you think it was too easy?
Thanks to our efforts and those of our friends, the host of the West will now be able to proceed safely through Cirith Negin. And yet my mind turns over and over upon an idea that will not leave me in peace. We foiled the ambush and dispersed our foes, true, but does it seem to have been too easy?
Certainly our friends in Ithilien have ambushed many foes from that spot with success, but this effort on the part of the Orcs and the Easterlings does not seem to have had any real chance of victory. Their force was too disorganized to cause us any trouble. Indeed, it seems to me that even had we stumbled unknowingly into the trap, we still might have survived to rout our foes. Will you mention my concerns to Aragorn? There's something peculiar in all this. All right, Dagorlad. Okay. I don't even remember where I got those herbalist quests in the first place. It's okay. We don't know and we don't want to know, as Gollum would say. Okay. So, I'm talking to Aragorn. I'm going to convey to Aragorn. I'm going to belatedly mount my pony to go up the stairs. I'm going to relay to Aragorn Dagoras's suspicions.
Bregaras is troubled by the ease with which the ambush was upset.
I think there is an answer for that, though it may not soothe his worries. I deem that the chief purpose of that ambush was to encourage us to keep on our course, to draw us on with a false estimate of the enemy's weakness. If it did cause us harm, so much the better, but I think it unlikely that it was intended to do anything other than to feint at our strength, and to bring us on with confidence. And is therefore, Aragorn, a good sign that the enemy is taking the bait, right? Okay, what do we got here? Ithilien weave armor of the ambusher? Yeah, but is that part of my set?
Go to Bar Tarnaher and learn what the Rangers know of the road ahead.
Okay. Do not let my assessment challenge your resolve, my friend. That the enemy believes he has us at a disadvantage means that he prepares to seize the bait and fall into the trap we have set for him. Exactly. We must not give him any sign that his real danger lies elsewhere, or we will endanger more than our own lives. All of Middle-earth will be at risk. And so we continue. There is a tower to the northwest of Henneth Annûn, a ruin called Bar Tarnaher. From there the Rangers of Ithilien have launched many strikes upon the Orcs. Go with Legolas and Gimli to Bar Tarnaher, and learn what the Rangers at that place know of the road ahead. All right. Okay. But first... Okay. First, let me do... So where are we here? So that's up here. No, that's Torngroth. Okay, it's out here? Right. Gotcha. Bar Tarnaher. It's like on the map and everything. Okay. And then Cair Andros. Yeah. Still have to do Cair Andros. All right, but let's do the water gathering, the trap breaking, and Torngroth. Tell you what, let's go counterclockwise. That's what. All right. So we're getting a water sample. I didn't do this quest before, did I? This isn't a repetition, is it? I've been gone so long. I've had so many interruptions in my schedule since I started this. I just have a vague memory of coming here and getting water. No? Didn't I do something up here with the water? Okay. All right, there we go. There's number one.
Now we'll go do the traps. Okay, let's get another lore question here. All right. Let's see. All right. Kendall was asking, oh, all right, hang on a second. Fine. Drowsnake, I'll answer yours here. Drowsnake was asking, what would you pitch as the next Tolkien film adaptation from the rights they currently have instead of Hunt for Gollum? Well, first of all, can I say, and I meant to say this before, because again, I don't want to sound like I'm just harshing on the Peter Jackson team. What I wanted to say was that War of the Rohirrim is a gorgeous concept. Like, I love everything about. I who knows if it's going to end up being a good movie or not? Like, we haven't seen it, but the concept, the choices, brilliant. I love the choice of Helm Hammerhand. Great Third Age story. Massive cinematic potential. And on top of that, it's a really good scope of a story too, right? I mean, one of the problems I have with feature films often, like the Lord of the Rings films and other films like that, is that novels are too big. Like, it's why they always end up having to, compress horribly in that kind of film. But a story like the Helm Hammerhand story, that's very well suited to a feature film. So the scope of it is great. The story itself is great. It can make a great film. Love the idea of the frame narrative, right? Of Éowyn telling the story of Helm Hammerhand to her kids. Brilliant. Love it. So, and it's partly how much I love the concept of the War of the Rohirrim that made me disappointed in the Hunt for Gollum. So, I believe and hope that. So one thing to keep in mind is, because a lot of people forget about this, and I think that this is one of the most important. I think this is one of the most significant facts in the Tolkien adaptation world right now. And that is that there is a media war that is currently going on. That is, don't forget that one company owns the rights to feature film adaptations, and another company, so Warner Brothers is that one, and Amazon owns the rights to all serial TV adaptations. So there is a war on between which one is going to dominate, the serial TV or the feature films. And so I think that this impacts some of the questions. People mention, somebody was just mentioning the Young Aragorn Chronicles, right? Aragorn's journeys, Thorongil and his time with the Rohirrim and his travels in the east and south, right? Where the stars are strange. Oh man, that I think is one of the easiest, the stories that's most clearly primed for adaptation. But it is perfectly suited to serial TV, not to feature films. I'm really glad they didn't do that in feature films, because I want to see that in serial TV form. Anyway, so wait, what's up here? Who is this? Another trap? Oh, no, this is the ranger I'm supposed to hand it into. Right. Yeah. More dwarf stories? You want more dwarf stories, Edith? Well, I got to tell you, I will be shocked. Why do I keep hitting that button when I mean dismount? I will be shocked if Amazon doesn't do that. I cannot think. No, I know for a fact that the Amazon people are fully aware of the fact that the element of the Rings of Power that people responded best to is Durin and Elrond, right? And that the dwarves and the dwarf plotline of the Rings of Power has been by far the favorite among the fans. That has been noticed. I can't imagine. Yeah. So, like, will there be a spinoff, whether it's a Second Age spinoff or a Third Age spinoff? Yeah, absolutely. Like, I expect it. Honestly, I expect it. I would also say, just like in the Return to Moria game of last
The
year,
earth has reclaimed the deeds of men and orc, fair or foul.
yeah, there's the dwarves are also from an adaptation standpoint an appealingly blank slate, right? We know some things, but we don't know much about the dwarves at all, frankly. Tolkien had really barely begun with the dwarves. So, both in their stories and their world building and everything else, so their culture. So, yeah. There's a lot there, and I totally expect it. Let's see. Gryfflet, you have come. You have made the roadway safe for our allies, but I fear the Khundolar will not be so easily deterred. They have made camp along the slopes of the Efel Duath and have readied their defenses. Oh yeah, I've been there. Their numbers are many, even with so many of their forces spread across the northern wilds of Ithilien. We must strike soon. We just, slaughtered that whole camp. In my scouting, I have listened secretly to passers-by and have heard them refer to the camp in their tongue as Uya Huyum. To assail it will be no easy task. The Khundolar encampment is well defended by their soldiers, and they have armed themselves with trebuchets. I have not been able to discern how far their encampment stretches into the slopes of the Mountains of Shadow, but the pass they have claimed is of considerable length and shall be an arduous course. To ensure the Khundolar can no longer pose a threat to Ithilien and the host of the West, we must thin their numbers, dismantle their siege weaponry, and destroy their supplies. Tordoron cracks a wry smile, and I would trust no other among us but you with this task. Okay. Isn't that the place we went? Where we, the place we wrecked with our Khandish friends? As best I can surmise, the Khundolar have not yet discovered their chance fortune in making camp along those slopes in the Mountains of Shadow. You see, when my fellow rangers and I scouted the road to Dagorlad, we often used those hills as a perch from which to observe the enemy's movements. However, it is far from our refuges, and a long journey to food and shelter alike. We took to hiding catches of supplies and wrapped rations beneath the soil, so that the Khundolar have no claim as their own. While some are safe beyond their encampment's entrance, the rest are surely buried just beneath their feet. We have great need of those catches, and to have them in the hands of the enemy would only prolong their invasion of Ithilien. When you come to their camp, keep keen an eye. Keep a keen eye, you mean? For our hidden catches, and return with as many as you are able to recover. Okay. All right, so a whole new set of quests up here, as I knew would come. First of all, you know that trebuchets are really a poor weapon against infantry, right? Trebuchets are fantastic against, castles and things, against fortifications, but people aren't really in much danger from trebuchets. Anyway, okay. All right. Should I just go do those since I'm here? Since I'm here and he's here, I'll just go do them, I guess. Okay.
Mountain Liege. I retrieved water for the Easterlings at the previous outpost. And I think you'd already done three of four herbalist quests. Well, no, it didn't complete it though. It said 0 of 4. That was my problem. This is what I object to. But thanks. I knew I went over there for water. Right, with the Easterlings. Okay. All right. So where am I going? Like right here, apparently, right across the stream. Okay. Oh, hang on. Wait a second. I'm forgetting something super important. In all the other excitement, I haven't tried on my new outfit. Okay, hang on. Oh, what do we have here? An essence box. Okay. And what's this? Enhancement runes. Okay, fine. Oh, is this my anniversary box? Yeah. I've got so many boxes. I still haven't opened. Okay. Oh. So this is like a thing I should actually just equip, but hang on. Let's see. Okay. That is sharp. Okay, no, not my waist. Maybe my head. Yeah. Looking good. Okay, so it has a different name. So this is the Ithilien Weave Armor of the Ambusher, whereas my shoulders are shoulder guards of the Reclaimed City. But they're clearly a set. Which one is my cloak? Of the Guiding Direction? I don't even remember what that's about. My helmet of the Reclaimed City, which I, of course, can't see. Hang on a second. Okay, right. Still prefer the cloak. And this is of the Silent Watcher. Gloves of the Silent Watcher. And I've got leggings of the Silent Watcher. And I think the leggings, I think those are Ithilien things too. Which means when I get my boots, I will have the complete Ithilien set. Oh, yeah. Now let me actually equip that baby in earnest too. Okay. All right. All right. Oh, look at your attractive self there, Gryfflet. Oh, yeah. Oh, this Ithilien set is great. Gondor has not been covering itself in glory when it comes to cosmetic sets so far. But this one is my favorite. Oh, I see. This is I'm picking up. I'm collecting catches. No, or not. Great. So sometimes a pile of disturbed earth is just a pile of disturbed earth, is what you're telling me? Oh man, they're gonna be everywhere. All these piles of disturbed earth to check and take me out of stealth. No, of which only a minority are going to have actual things in them. Well, no problem. No problem. Gryfflet is patient. But Gryfflet is positive this is the camp we already went through and killed the boss of. You know what? I'm just going to do the Grip of Mordor quest because I'm going to end up... Heh. Made his little cat disappear. Okay, so what do we have up here? We've got a trebuchet. See, again, like, what are you fixing to hit with that thing? I mean, yeah, you could throw a rock, you know, to the mountainside over there. But what on earth good is that going to do you? Still, you know. Oh, I thought the whole thing was getting... That was exciting. Okay, I've got banners to remove. I got banners. I got ration barrels. I got trebuchets. You know, one of these days, the enemy is going to think to make their banners out of some kind of flame retardant material. Oh wait, hang on. I was going to do this just to stop it being annoying. Okay, wait, what else am I getting? Banners, ration barrels, and then just defeating them. And right, okay, get you. That's what the ration barrels look like. Okay. Okay. Yeah, with the way these guys are going to be positioned, I'm likely to take out plenty of them. Okay. They're going to fire pointy logs at folks? Oh, hang on. Look at this. I almost missed the disturbed earth here. Okay, so far I'm 1 for 4. If I have to, like, click on 32 patches of disturbed earth. Okay, like, so lobbing pointed sticks at people, like, I'm not saying that's like a stupid move. Not a stupid move. It's just a stupid move with the trebuchet because of the whole trajectory of, I mean, trebuchets lob things, right? So yeah, you could rain down a bunch of logs, you know, to somewhere that's really far away. But with tree cover like this, like, they're all going to get caught in the tree. It doesn't really seem like a big threat to me, but, you know, it's okay. All right, what do we have up here? Anything of note? Another banner. That doesn't seem to be flammable, though. Oh, there's another. We got some other things. Fine. Okay. Oh, no, I see. The sticks are just a basket instead of a sling? Right. For the trebuchet. Okay. Well. But again, you're going to throw a rock. And again, you can throw rocks real far with trebuchets. It is super impressive. But, yes, JJ wants to practice using trebuchets against infantry as a reenactment activity at Ranger Moot in September. I think that'll go over well. Fun for the whole family. You know, we're telling people that this would be a great moot for kids, so maybe what we do is we have the kids operate the trebuchets. And, you know, fling rocks out at their parents, and fun for the whole family. All right. So what are we at? We're at, that was my second trebuchet. I just need lots more of everything, so I'll just keep going. Oop, flammable banner. Okay, let's see. So I was going to answer another question. Let me do that. Kendall had asked before. When an elf is killed, goes to Mandos, and then gets a new body and returns to Middle-earth, does the diminishing process reset, or does it pick up where it leaves off?
That's a really fun question, Kendall. Kendall is trying to gamify mortality and immortality and being like, okay, I think I can job this system. All Galadriel has to do to prevent herself from diminishing is just die a bunch of times, right? Then you undiminish, start the process again, right? So if you manage to keel over on the regular, right? That so fairly sure that won't work. No, the diminishing, because the diminishing is not about just like the process of what it's not, certainly not a bodily thing, not exclusively a bodily thing in any case, but it's more categorically about what is happening in Middle-earth, what is happening to Middle-earth. There are places in Tolkien's Legendarium where he speaks of it as like something that's happening to the air, basically. And so yeah, it's not just a process that is happening within the person of an individual elf, which process could theoretically get reset. As I say, there's more to it than that. So no, the diminishing is a thing that is like the fate of the elves in general. The fate of the elves in general, especially in Middle-earth. So yeah. Is that banner not flammable? Why is it not? Wish it wouldn't move to it. Over here mashing the delete key. Okay. I gotta be getting close to banners. This is number 6. Okay. So yes, I don't think that will work. Man, I am not loving the low percentage there. I am, in fact, going to have to click on, like, 30. Oh, I got a sorcerer here. I got 2 sorcerers here. This is a feisty little group. Okay. Oh, man. Come on now. Don't be that way. What did he, like, slip me? I mean, it looked like I was drunk there all of a sudden. Oh, is that? Oh, it's a scholar thing. Right, sorry. Okay. What else we got? We got another barrel of rations. Must be getting close on the rations too. Oh yeah, 7 of those. Am I being attacked by somebody? No. Okay. Yeah, so I'm getting close to the end of this one, you know, except for the fact that I still have to click on every square foot of earth. Okay. Oh man, I'm up to 3.
But as I recall from the last time I came through and cleaned out this with our friends there before, this duplication I don't love. That really seems a weakness. I mean, it's one thing, like, I'm willing to engage in, you know, like the kind of suspension of disbelief that is necessitated by, you know, the mere fact that, like, I'm told to go and clear out a camp, and I clear out the camp, and all the creatures regen right away. And anyway, like, and then I'm supposed to pretend like it's still clear, right? You know, I go back to the quest giver who's like, thank you, that is so much better. We're now, like, everyone's safe to return to their homes, and the place is, like, still crawling with orcs, you know, who have just, like, immediately regen. But, like, I get that. Like, that's my ability to suspend disbelief, you know, can easily rise to such a thing. But this is unusual, where there are two different quest lines who take us through this same camp, and I am now being asked to pretend like I haven't already been here and defeated all these guys, and in fact had, like, a personal conflict with the big boss, right? Who, I mean, like, that was a whole story about the big boss and, you know, how he betrayed those Variags, and, you know what I mean? Like, that was a fun story that I've already done. And so now to be sent back to this camp as if, I've never been here before, and as if nothing has ever happened to these people, that is a bridge too far. But I'm within the actual camp, Phil. I don't have a better percentage on these patches of disturbed earth than I did on the others. Sorry, I'm, like, literally whining now. Okay. But I don't want to click on more disturbed earth. And just let me let that other battle cat go by. And then we will take out this cat keeper. There we go. Okay. Man. This disturbed earth is underneath the boulder. Look at that. It's actually... How do I know it's disturbed? I'm gonna probe. Look, I found a catch under the boulder. That is a little bit awesome. Okay, I finished. Did I finish trebuchets too? What do I still need? No, I still need 2 trebuchets. Oh, there's 2 right over there. Okay. All right, so I need 2 more catches, which hopefully I'll get here. And then I need those 2 trebuchets. So let me do some sneaking here. Oh, look. Nothing in it. All right. I do love that trebuchet destruction little cinematic there. Not exactly cinematic, but...
All right, you're standing right next to a pile of disturbed earth, Khundolar warrior. I'm afraid you must go. Oh, you turned around? Come on, man. All right. Come on, I feel lucky. Yes! All right. Where were they fixing to throw rocks? Whoa, everywhere. Hang on. Is that the Dead Marshes? That is, isn't it? Right, so there's the road that comes down into the waste and the entire waste. Well, this is a commanding vantage point. I can see why the Rangers of Ithilien came here to look out over the... Hang on, let's see. To the wastes. Yeah. Okay. Can you see all the way to Ondahir's Folly? I think it's maybe that over there, or maybe it's around the corner. Can't tell. Okay. Okay. Right. Hallgro says, very handy for launching trebuchet attacks against, checks notes, Second Age ruins. Exactly. Because you never... like. But seriously, do you know how hard it would be to hit men on the move down on those... Hang on. Where was I able to see that before? Men on the move down on that road. From here, like, look, there's a guy. I see him. How hard it would be to hit even an encampment down there is the only possible target that would make any sense. But man, that would be a challenge. Okay. I believe I'm done. I am done, and we're headed out. They want to make the Dead Marshes extra dead? Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. Okay. All right, we're going to go down to what's-his-face, Tordaron, and hope that this was the only set of quests he had for us and that he's not going to send us back up here to, like, kill the boss or something again. Let's see. There's another question. Davey3223 had asked, why didn't the goblins in the Battle of the Five Armies wait until everyone else fought before going in to take out the remaining people? I've wondered this for some time now. Well, yeah, that's obviously would have been the better strategy. Of course, he's referring to the fact that, remember, the dwarves and elves and men were, like, actually charging across the field towards each other when the goblins attacked, right? The answer is they didn't know. They had no idea, right? The goblins were not paying attention and did not particularly care about what was going on. They had been journeying from the mountains, right? And it just so happened by chance that their arrival occurred at precisely the moment to, prevent the battle that, like, shots had already been fired. But it was prevented in the nick of time by the attack of the goblins, which means the attack of the goblins, like, there's a reason why that happens that way, like, as far as the story is concerned, right? That is, the attack of the goblins is actually an even greater eucatastrophe than the rescue by the eagles at the end. When the eagles are coming is the great eucatastrophic moment at the end of The Hobbit, the great sudden turn, sudden happy ending at the end of the Hobbit story. At least that's like what gets all the headlines, right? And surely that's what saves their lives, right? Otherwise, they would have been in what Sam would call a sad ending story instead of a happy ending story. But that still would have been much, much better than what had been going to happen. A story in which the elves, humans, and dwarves band together and die in battle against the goblins is still a much better story for everyone than the story in which the humans and the elves and the dwarves fight a bitter battle against each other and establish, centuries or millennia of enmity moving forward. That
would have been that's the worst case scenario. And so it might have happened had not the goblins come and attacked at just that moment. So the fact that the attack of the goblins is a eucatastrophe in that way, is this unexpected sudden turn, is its whole purpose in the narrative. It makes sense from inside the narrative, again, because the goblins, they don't care. They're just coming to kill whomever they find there. It's part of what defines the goblins, right? They're not much interested in strategy. They're just interested in killing. Yeah. Okay. Found your bloody
Though
caches.
I know Aragorn not, a ranger will not lead you astray.
We are fortunate indeed that you were able to unearth these caches before the Khundolar discovered they built their camp atop countless supplies. If they had, I could count them. Just saying. If they had, driving them from North Ithilien would surely have proven an even greater task. I shall see these returned to my brethren at Henneth Annûn. You have my thanks.
Let us hope you bring glad tidings, friend.
You have done it, my friend. I saw a few of their number flee back into Dagorlad as you returned. I do not think they expected to encounter a burglar of your skill. Twice. They will certainly come again. Well, that I can believe. But for a time we are free of the Khundolar's presence in North Ithilien. Now then, you should return to Captain Aragorn in Henneth Annûn and tell him of what you have done. If only I were there to see his face when you tell him of the Khundolar. Oh, excellent. You don't have another round of quests for me. I'm reasonably grateful for that. Okay, no problem. I'm glad I did that. Oh man, we're starting to run low on time. Let's hope this last round is mostly it, though I fear the worst when it comes to Bar Tarnaher. That sounds like another center up there. But it's okay. I'm not in a rush to leave North Ithilien. My goal for the day was accomplishing the last of the Henneth Annûn quests. And I still think that that is in my reach. Right, JJ says there was time to come up with a strategy and reposition troops, so I don't think the goblins were close enough to have any idea that another fight was imminent. Yes, that is also true. Remember that it was Gandalf, right? What actually stopped the armies was not actually the attack of the goblins, as JJ points out. They had time to reposition their troops before the goblins got there. It was Gandalf. Gandalf warning them of the imminent arrival of the goblin troops. So, yes, it is not just a matter of the goblins coming in, seeing them about to attack each other, and then saying, oh, we don't care, let's, quick rush in and give them a common enemy. Yeah, that wasn't exactly the situation. Oh, that's right, didn't I have to go down this little cliffside? And then it was somewhere along this wall. Oh, there it is. Okay. Clean out Torngroth. Okay. I'm on a roll. Let's keep going. Okay, Edith says, in real Tolkien history, did subsequent Durins get their names at birth or after they were determined to be his reincarnation? Really good question. So, one of the things that makes it a really good question, unfortunately, is the fact that it's really hard to answer. Tolkien didn't... So the dwarvish reincarnation idea, he only kind of sketched that out in one place. As I said, he was not doing very much in the way of... he wasn't doing very much in the way of world building with the dwarves until near the end. I mean, it was quite late in his own career when he started doing that.
So we don't have very much detail about how the Durin thing worked. According to his later, according to, those later little like notes that he made about the dwarves, it is true that he, it is clear that he was thinking in terms of literal reincarnation. This is not just like, the spirit of Durin lives on, abstractly speaking, or, this guy is so much like Durin, we're going to call him Durin after Durin. Like, that wasn't the situation. It was, in his later thinking, it was literally a reincarnation of Durin. Given what he describes in those later notes. Those later notes, by the way, can be found in The War of the Jewels, Volume 11 of the History of Middle-earth. That's also, by the way, this is the same point at which he decided, years after writing The Lord of the Rings, that dwarf women totally actually had full beards. Right? This was the place where he wrote about that is there in the War of the Jewels. So yes, he developed this idea of the reincarnation of Durin. Based on what he said there, I do think that it would take them a while to figure it out. Like, I don't think at birth, like you're holding a swaddled dwarf prince in your arms, and you look it in the face and you're like, oh yeah, this guy's Durin the, fifth all over. Like, I don't think so. So I think it would have to be later on that they would catch on to this. So based on the actual reincarnation theory, yes. Yeah. If the baby wakes and walks alone, it's Durin. You're saying there are certain like tells, maybe. All right, well, I do have to kill some orcs too. I'm actually finding it. Oh, that's it? I already did all the supplies? Great. So all I have to do is defeat some more orcs? Okay. Okay. How many more do I need? 3? I guess for the sake of like dramatic effect, I can go, might as well take out the captain. It would be, kind of churlish to pretend like this job had been done when I had deliberately avoided, the bigger boss orc here. Seems like shirking, doesn't it? Okay. How many do I need now? 1. Great. One more of them. Then I just need to finish up the
Wasn't there one lone guy wandering around here? Yeah, he's the one. Thank you. Okay. All right, so Bar Tarnaher. That sounds like, because the way that Aragorn sent me there in the epic quest line suggests to me that's another quest, that's the next quest center. I'm trying to decide whether I should, well, I'm right here. I might as well. I mean, I think that's Bar Tarnaher right there. And actually, if there's a milestone, I could potentially be formulating a cunning plan right now. Oh, there's a warband? Gosh, I haven't run into a warband in quite a while. A whole bunch of loth bears. Okay, yeah, this is definitely the right place. Okay. Discovered Bar Tarnaher. Hey, guys. Oh, it's Legolas. Okay, no, I don't want the warband. Thank you. Keeper Shomu Shuk and his pack of battle cats. Yeah, not interested. So he's actually a cat herder? Is what you're telling me? Alright, we've got Legolas and Gimli. We've got, who's this? Unreth, right? A Rohirric dude? Bregaras. Oh man, we've got a whole... We've got a whole representative sample. Are these the guys who are being sent to Caer Andros? Are you guys the men faint of heart? I mean, like, no offense and such.
The Nazgûl are flying above us, out of sight. I feel their presence.
I thought I heard something above us, Gryfflet, and I felt a shadow pass across my heart. I know this feeling. It was on the banks of the Anduin that I felled one of the flying beasts. It must have proved only an inconvenience for its terrible rider, for I know their number, and all were seen on the Pelennor. The Nazgûl are flying above us, just out of sight. They watch the progress of Aragorn's host as it moves north toward Dagorlad. Gimli and I and you know of these creatures, but we know also that they can be fought. Not all of Aragorn's soldiers may believe this, and I fear that such feelings of dread as the Nazgûl inspire will grow in the breast of each man. Will their loyalty hold, or will the fear of Sauron's servants cause them to break ranks and flee as cowards? My father does not think highly of man, but I have seen the courage they can wield. Will it be enough? Aha, that's what I thought. Excellent.
Find the hidden supply caches and bring them back here.
Seriously. The people of Ithilien, the Rangers of Ithilien, need to really reconsider their whole hidden supply cache thing. There's something up there watching us even now? I don't like the sound of that. Bregaras shudders and scans the sky for some sign of the Nazgûl, but can see nothing. He sighs heavily and shakes his head. At Faramir's instruction, his rangers placed hidden caches of supplies throughout Ithilien. This is all Faramir's fault, is it? Boy, Mr. Steward of Gondor has something to answer for, I gotta tell you. It seems to me that we should retrieve these supplies, for the time of the rangers is surely coming to an end. If King Elasar finds victory or defeat at the Black Gate, there will be little need for such caches in the woodlands. Find the hidden supply caches east and north of Bar Tarnaher, and bring them back here, and we can distribute their contents among King Elasar's soldiers. No reference to Caer Andros. That's it? Just him? Nobody else? Odd. Okay, I'm gonna try to I'm not gonna do these. I did the one up here. because that was a one-shot, and I was hoping it was a one-shot, and it was. This might be two with only one dude, but I don't think so. Legolas sounds like he's kicking off the Kyarandros plot. So, with that in mind, let us go down, get the last 2 bits of, jugs of water, and bring them back for water testing. Okay. You know what? Maybe that's actually a dumb move. I was just going to jump down there and go that way. But maybe I don't go just straight across country. Maybe I actually try to be a little smarter than that. There's a perfectly good road that leads me straight down that way. So how about we take it? Well, I say there's a road. On the map, there's a road. Though. Okay. I'll just act on faith that some sort of road exists here. And then it seems to curve vaguely this way. Okay. And then it comes to an intersection. I'm following this wholly theoretical road. No, Gryfflet's not wearing his fancy hat because I'm riding my blue roan pony, not my war steed. Because I don't trust this terrain to ride my war steed. If there were a real road... Oh, look, here's a sign of a road. If there were... Ah... Now this is a real road. Now Carrion can come in and I can put on my hat. But because, yeah, I thought I was going across country, and like cross country in unknown terrain on the war steed, that just never ends well. Okay. So now I'm going to come down here until I hit the river. Great. All right, we're doing water collection. We're going to hand those in, and then I think we're done with Henneth Annûn. And up into the final stages of North Ithilien, and then the Wastes, and then Mordor. Or alternatively, I can achieve and I could get another quest from a random ranger by the side of the road. Or 2. Have you seen the cats of the Khundolar lurking nearby? They are terrible beasts, bred only to maim and kill the enemies of their masters. Terrible beasts, bred only to maim and kill. Isn't that all cats? When those enemies are absent or hidden away like my brethren, the battle cats sate their hunger on any creature they can find. The lands of Ithilien are wild, yes, and beasts know the many ways through the shadows of these woods, but the battle cats are trained to outpace and outsmart them. I've even heard tell they have the strength to slay the bears of Ithilien. I would ask you that you defeat them before they can cause great harm to the order of beasts in Ithilien. They're going to wreck the food chain. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it is time. This quest should be called Invasive Species, right? Come on. In the wake of the great battle, the hewers of Gondor and Rohan alike are strained, and their stores will run low if we do not help replenish them. Gondor has long been a source of various remedies and tinctures, and nearly all of them through the use of flowers and herbs that grow in Ithilien. This task has not often fallen to the rangers in recent years, but the need is great now, and we must all do our part to ease the ills of the wounded. Among the most common of Ithilien's herbs and flowers are oxlip, horsetail, and vetchling. Yeah, I see them all over the place. Each can be ground into a beneficial extract that can then be combined into powerful medicines by skilled hewers. Search nearby for the luscious of these plants and bring them to me. Once you have gathered them, return to me and we can speak on how to harvest their extracts. Okay. By the way, I didn't get my boots, did I? What do I have to do to get my boots? Hang on, this guy is a fountain of quests. Good grief. Since I have asked you to harvest the flowers and herbs of Ithilien, I must also task you with planting new seeds. It may seem a foolish errand with the enemy's forces looming so near to us, but if we are to fight for a bright future in Gondor, we will have need of Ithilien's bounty. To the west lies the field of Cormallen, a verdant field wreathed by some of Ithilien's most striking trees and flowers. Seeds of many kinds can be found amongst the grass, especially those of oxlip, horsetail, and vetchling. The seeds should be very easy to find. Oxlip seeds resemble those of a maple tree. Vetchling seeds appear nearly identical to chestnuts, and horsetail seeds are indistinguishable from acorns. Gather many of them and then plant as many as you are able in the lowlands surrounding the field of Cormallen. Okay. Good grief. Search for trolls. As the battle on Pelennor ended, many of the enemy's forces broke their ranks and fled back across the Anduin. Among those, we sighted at least 4 trolls fleeing into Ithilien. I fear that they might still live within these lands, for trolls are a troublesome foe for my brethren. They are not easily felled and can often flee before one of our arrows lands a killing blow. However, these trolls do not possess the hardier stock of the Olog Hai, and they would be vulnerable to the risen sun. Search the lands nearby for the 4 trolls, and when you are satisfied they no longer pose a threat, return to me. Oh, those troll statues I found before? Right. Okay. All right, so hang on a second. As I thought, these are Bar Tarnahir. So I only got one actual quest in Bar Tarnahir, but then I get all these around here. So, yep, perfectly fine. I am not going to do these right now. These will be later quests. I will come back and do these, do the Bar Tarnahir quests after I finish the Henneth Annûn quests, which I am very close to doing. Almost fell off that bridge, didn't quite. Okay, hang on. So we're here, more or less. The field of Cormallen is this way. Oh. Just down this cliff, yes, apparently. Okay. So I gotta go down there and get some water. And I'm not bothering with seeds or anything else. There we go. Water. And only water. Oh, look, it's a pile of horsetail seeds. Not that I care. Okay. Okay. Back to the Forbidden Pool. Back to the Forbidden Pool, Gryfflet like lightning. I'm getting my roan steed again because I'm going overland, not following real or imaginary roads. Besides, my new blue roan pony is much faster than all of those pokey predators that putatively pursue us. Okay. And there's the big waterfall. No, that's the little waterfall. I don't think this counts. I gotta go up around this. There we go. That's the big waterfall. And this is the Forbidden Pool, to which it is death to come. There we go. That's it.
right? Retaking Torngroth, Forbidden Waters, invaders from Rhûn. Yes. That's all of them. Okay, so now I'm gonna zap back up there. The Khundolar are routed and flee in fear to Dagorlad? Anborn's face betrays a mix of disbelief and joy. You have done a great service to the Rangers, my friend. Through your efforts, our stores are renewed and my men better protected. Ithilien itself heals with greater vigor. I think perhaps it is time that you rejoin your allies in the host of the West. By my thinking, to deprive them of one of your skill would be a grave mistake. Let us talk more of your journey and of the road ahead. And let us talk of my strong leather boots of the Silent Watcher. Well, no, my leather boot, just not the strong ones, the weak ones. Yes, those are the ones I want. The host of the West has passed northward, and even now they make camp on the border of Dagorlad. The pass of Cirith Negin has been made safe. The roadway north is clear, but the lands of Dagorlad are steeped in the enemy's corruption. The host of the West shall have need of you in the coming days. Of this I have no doubt. Although my men are familiar with the lands of Dagorlad, its harsh terrain and wide plains make it deadly to those who do not move with care. By sharp stone, orc, or worse terrors of the Black Land. Worse terrors even than sharp stones? Death follows closely upon the battle plain. Bear this in mind, Gryfflet, for it is there you and the host of the West will challenge the Dark Lord. I ask that you rejoin them as swiftly as you are able and travel to their camp to the north. If you see Damrod, please speak to him on my behalf. A great test lies before us, and we must not fail. Excellent. A vector quest to Dagorlad. Brilliant. You have done well to rout the orcs from Torngroth, my friend, even though they may be foolish enough to try to claim it again. The supplies you have recovered as well shall prove a great boon to me and my men. I shall see them distributed amongst our company at once. What's a forager's basket? Rare North Ithilien crafting ingredients? Okay.
We must forge ahead.
By your account, the enemy's poisons have not seeped into the stream, but I shall test the water you gather to be certain. Even without knowing the location of Henneth Annûn, the enemy could flush us out by poisoning the streams of Ithilien. We are fortunate they have not yet had the forethought to do so. Okay. And that is it. Yes. Yes. Okay. So. What's the blue? Oh, the trolls. Okay. Well, if there are trolls down here too, then I think I'll stay here. But I'm done. And it's exactly 3 o'clock. Would you look at that? Gryfflet comes in right under the wire. Okay. So I'll stay down here so I can get those troll statues. And then I'll do all the Bar Tarnaher plots, which will hopefully lead to Caer Andros, because it sounds like it's leading that direction. Excellent. So yes, I believe same time next week. Yeah, I think there's a same time next week. I would say, as Druid's Fire was just alluding to, tomorrow is Signum University's May Showcase for Space. Our space program is doing its biannual showcase, where it is where they're doing some demonstration of our space classes. Everyone is welcome to come and find out about some of the exciting classes that are coming up in our space program here in the course of the next few months. I'm going to be talking with folks at lunchtime. And it's going to be on Twitch too, not on this Twitch channel, but on the Signum Twitch channel. I believe it should be. No, it's not. No, it's just on Zoom. It's on Zoom, but you can find the link to the Zoom channel, to the Zoom session where the Space Showcase is going to be No, sorry, Druid's Fire. You know more than I do. I'm just guessing. That's just me. So no, it's on Zoom. It's on Zoom. But you can get the link to the Zoom at the page that Druid's Fire just posted. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, Druid's Fire. Never make the mistake that I know more than other people, especially about logistics. Anyhow, so yes, do go to that Space Showcase page and sign up for the Zoom. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have teaching sessions from a number of people, and in my lunch session, we're going to be making an exciting announcement also. So, anyway, there we are. All right. Well, thanks everybody, and I will see you guys next week. We'll be back, and we should be making some serious. I don't know if we'll be able to do all of Bar Tarnaher, especially if it involves a whole separate set of Cair Andros plots. But we'll see about that anyway. I've been looking forward to the Cair Andros subplots for quite some time here. That's one of the number one thing I've been looking forward to in North Ithilien. So looking forward to getting around to that next time. And then we move on towards the Wastes and towards the Black Gate. Gryfflet beginning to make serious headway. I wonder if, well, especially if I were available every week, if Gryfflet actually could, he can almost keep up with the pace, I think, of production, right? I have a seriously difficult time playing the game as quickly as the game producers are able to make it, right? But I think Gryfflet is kind of slowly making progress. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, thanks everybody for joining me, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye now. Thanks for joining in on my rambles around Standing Stone's brilliant digital adaptation of Tolkien's world. If you enjoy these adventures, please consider supporting this and other entertaining educational programming by donating at signumuniversity.org/fund.